What's this about?
Stereotypes. All right. So, what do you think of stereotype?
So I think a stereotype is when people put a label on other people, like group them into commonalities that people share, and then I think the stereotype.
Oh, okay. Can I give an example, like a general stereotype? Okay, well, basically anything that's like an item or something that relates to a person, or so if I was to say like, what's that brand of the jeans that all Sean John.
I've never seen anyone wear.
Anyways, some kind of brand. I don't know, a brand that certain people wear, or a certain type of cologne, or a certain like. I hate when I go to CVS and it's in the hair department and it says ethics hair. It drives me crazy because I gotta use that.
Like predetermine what somebody is or what they're going to be.
Stereotype is something you believe about someone just because of one of their characteristics. Stereotype is someone who judges someone else for something that they think is...
Like blushing. The definition of a stereotype? I guess that would be somebody's predetermined idea of someone else's profile, a category.
Stereotype. It's what people think. What people think of other people. It's not true.
Like a certain way, like you perceive someone, I guess.
I guess a trait that a group of people would have that a lot of people would think.
When a group of people are characterized as something, like you could be a nerd because maybe you wear glasses or something, and people just take different things about your appearance and stereotype you or categorize you into a certain category.
I guess I would say that it is just like this set of ideas about a different group that you just automatically assume somebody has.
I think a stereotype is a characteristic that people put on a group of people that even if some of the people in that group fit the stereotype, they classify all those people as stereotype.
A stereotype is a classification or grouping of a person's based on implications that our society has set forth.
Most negative things you could think about, like a group, a gender, or a race, and like generalize it across the board for all.
Something that people deem true, I guess. Like, does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like that's how it's supposed to be.
Definition of a stereotype. Oh my gosh, are you serious? I think when you see a stereotype would be, gosh, what would a stereotype be, Kelsey? If somebody was from the north and there was a tendency for people that are from the north, and then you would just instill that stereotype on that person even though they would have no relationship with that situation at all. I think that would be a stereotype.
Definition of a stereotype, someone, I'm guessing who judges somebody on aspects of color, religion, whatever.
Defining someone's personality and trait.
Stereotype is an idea you have about a person or type of persons before actually meeting them individually.
I think a stereotype is an idea that people have about a group or a thing, perhaps. Like you can have a stereotype about a group of people or an ethnic race or a job. So kind of like a preconceived idea of what something is without really knowing all the facts. I think that's a stereotype.
Stereotype, the definition of a stereotype is when someone makes an automatic assumption before they even know them.
Stereotype is when someone makes a conclusion about someone without even trying to get to know them. Based on societal pressure. Thank you.
Stereotype is an idea of what a group of people are based on things they've heard or seen. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad.
You want me to sit in the chair, you sit in my lap, is that it? Or, I think a stereotype is
almost a comic or exaggerated representation of some trait, usually assigned to some other, a minority group or some group that you're opposed to.
What is the definition of a stereotype, and what is the definition of a stereotype Roanoke College student?
Yeah.
I'm gonna get fired for this.
No, be honest.
I guess stereotype is something we perceive a certain class or gender or race as doing or acting, or I'd say the stereotype of the typical Roanoke College student would probably be a richer kid from up north, wearing their Uggs and joining a frat or sorority.
I'm fitting it. No, I'm primarily a northerner that wanted just to go to school in the South but didn't want to go too far away from mom and dad. But decided to go in.
You can be honest. Be honest.
Lovely. I love you guys. Stereotype of just well-behaved kids, I guess. I don't know what else to say. I don't want to say nothing.
Oh, no, that's
all
fine.
Positive, all positive.
Type of Roanoke College student could be either really, really preppy and comes from a lot of money, or that they work really hard to get where they are and they don't flaunt their money. I think it'd be either one.
Preppy.
Okay, what about you?
Can you help me in this?
What about you?
Lily Pulitzer.
Somebody that goes and thinks very hard. Work hard, play hard.
I would say the Roanoke College student is someone who likes to have fun, but also cares about schoolwork.
I don't think I want to.
It depends on the person. There's not one stereotype. I would say likes to have fun most of all.
Do you think different sororities have different stereotypes and fraternities?
Yes.
Do you want to give me an example?
Sure. Like Delta Gamma has the highest grades on campus.
Preppy. Do you think there's different stereotypes for like different athletes and different sororities and fraternities?
Yes, I think there's an athlete group, a sorority group, and everyone else.
Partiers. They're not. We're just a good melting pot here.
Mm-hmm.
We have a little bit of every type of individual.
Stereotype of Roanoke College student. I'd say they are. What's a tough one there? Possibly from, or mostly from somewhere north of Virginia. A lot of them are from boarding schools. Good families. Fun-loving, very social. Make friends easily and outgoing.
Mean, no, smart outgoing students. That's what it seems like to me.
Alright, thank you.
Fun loving, yeah, alright.
Probably like preppy, fun.
Stay a little on the preppy side. Yeah.
Do you think that there's different stereotypes for different groups of people here at school?
Probably.
Yeah. Do you see them in like a positive way or a negative way?
Both positive. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's definitely. I mean, you can see. Working here, you can see it. But it's good. It's all good.
Like 2 minutes before.
Preppy, I would say.
How about you?
Preppy has to be in that definition, but I would go ahead and add to that and say judgmental.
Okay.
I also think preppy, button down, sport shoes, but I also think we have a certain characteristic to ourselves because we're so small that kind of makes us seem like type of a big community, or like a smaller community.
Do you think the stereotypes that people have for our school are accurate, or?
In some ways, Yeah, a lot of people do characterize themselves as that, but there are people within those people who have a lot in their backgrounds and everything that we don't know about, and maybe just because they look that way doesn't mean they necessarily are.
So do you think that their stereotypes are a negative thing, or?
They can be. Sometimes it's like indifferent. It's just like, oh, that girl's in a sorority, she's a sorority girl, but like, sometimes you can be stereotyped as a bad thing, so it could be offensive.
I think a Roanoke College student stereotypically is usually very academically savvy, knows how to have a good time, for sure, and pretty well has their shit together and wants to go far in life.
Waspy, preppy, country club kid. They're pretty preppy. I mean, it's a liberal arts college, so there's like a wide range of things you can do. Lacrosse.
So if you were like a outside person, just like quickly summing up a Roanoke College student, what do you think they would say?
Well off, well rounded, particularly preppy.
I think it's changed over the 9 years that I've been here. I think originally the stereotype would have been a preppy kind of frat sorority type person, and I think now it's more well-rounded. I see a lot of different personalities, different type of people here. So I don't think there's one specific stereotype, but I still think it's more of a, it's getting away from it, but it used to be like the prep school kind of kid that was attracted here.
Do you think there are stereotypes for different athletes here at Roanoke?
Different teams,
Yeah.
athletic teams.
Yeah.
Maybe in the past, or I don't see that as much as just the regular student population.
Right.
So you're looking at one. You know, a kid from New England, white. I don't know, Republican.
Do you notice a lot of different groupings of stereotypes here?
I do. That could be because I'm in one, you know, Greek organization, but I would say that you do see those groupings, but I don't think it defines the school.
They like to party and they're white and they wear nice clothes and they have a lot of moolah.
I would say the stereotype at Roanoke College would be a mix between really wealthy, preppy kids and kids that are from kind of more around the same area that are like lucky to find people here.
Okay.
I would say like 60% of the school's from New England. So I would say like, yeah, that's like a lot of them. I wouldn't say 60%, probably like 40. But I would say mostly the same thing. I wouldn't say wealthy, but like most of these kids came from prep school.
I would say that if you really didn't know a whole lot about Roanoke College, I think that two stereotypes that you could really pick out quickly is one that everybody's really nice, which is I think a very good stereotype to have. I would also say though that it's a possibility that people could believe that there's a stereotype of everybody on Roanoke College campus being really rich, because it's a very classy, you know, high-end kind of place. We have really nice buildings, and I think that people who maybe just walk around and see people with designer clothes, designer bags, nice buildings, they're going to just assume that Roanoke College is made of money. So
I'm not sure. I think sometimes I think I've heard people describe it as kind of a party school, maybe. You hear people talk about roll and toke, that kind of thing. And the, yeah, so that there's some partying going on and that kind of thing.
Okay. And do you notice different stereotypes as a professor within the students or different groups of people?
I have noticed some stereotyping in the past. I can't think of anything that's happened recently, but I think I have noticed it a little bit. Sometimes there's a stereotype about some groups of students in the college, like lacrosse players or poor students and involved in sort of antisocial behavior or you know, things like that. I don't think those stereotypes are really true, but occasionally I think they are applied.
Preppy, rich, jerks. And I'm not allowed to curse on this, I'm assuming. Douchebags. Condescending. That's another one.
And do you think there are like, what is it? Different groups?
Do you think that there are stereotypes for different groups of people at Roanoke?
Absolutely.
Like sports teams and...
Yeah, sure. Lax Bros, Greek douchebags, Greek life people, members. The smart kids, the nerds, all of them.
We're not here for a long time, we're here for a good time.